Hello to the ever-curious and mystery-seeking listeners of the Axios podcast. I'm Amir, and today we're going to dive into a topic that's even more fascinating than any Hollywood movie or detective novel. What is it? Yes, that's right. The Illuminati, Freemasonry, and so on. So when we hear the name Illuminati, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Exactly. A secret, powerful, and ultra-secretive group that's controlling the world from behind the scenes, right? Famous people, politicians, and artists, all of them are members of this group and are carrying out this grand scheme. But what's the reality? Did the Illuminati really exist? Yes, you heard that right. The name comes from the Latin word illuminatus, which means enlightened or illuminated. The Illuminati wasn't a secret group, but rather a secret society that was founded on May 1st, 1776, by a law professor named Adam Weishaupt in Bavaria, Germany. So what was their goal? Weishaupt and his companions were tired of the influence of the church and the power of the monarchies. They wanted to build a new society based on reason, wisdom, freedom, and equality. In other words, they wanted to save the world from ignorance and superstition and lead it toward enlightenment. Their name was also Illuminatenorden, meaning the Order of the Illuminati. Most of their members were intellectuals, philosophers, writers, and politicians of that era. They held secret meetings, had their own special symbols, and performed certain unique rituals, exactly like the things you see in the movies. But this group didn't last very long. The Bavarian government, which was afraid of the group's influence and their liberal ideas, declared them illegal and started prosecuting their members. As a result, the Illuminati was officially dissolved in 1785. So in total, it only lasted for 9 years. So if the original Illuminati was dissolved in 1785, where do all these rumors and conspiracy theories about it come from? This is where the story gets more interesting. Some people believe that the Illuminati was never truly dissolved, but instead continued its activities underground. They believe that this group still exists and is secretly controlling the world from behind the scenes. Alright, now let's move on to another name that's always mentioned alongside the Illuminati: Freemasonry. So what's the difference between Freemasonry and the Illuminati? Freemasonry is a secret fraternal organization that is much older than the Illuminati. The roots of Freemasonry go back to the Middle Ages and the Guild of Stonemasons or Operative Masons. These Masons, who had special skills in building large structures like churches and castles, formed secret societies to protect their trade secrets and safeguard their own interests. But modern Freemasonry, also known as speculative Masonry, emerged in the early 18th century in England. The first major Masonic institution was established in London in 1700. This Freemasonry was no longer just for stonemasons. Anyone from any background could join as long as they believed in a supreme being. But what is Freemasonry? They say their goal is to promote morality, spirituality, and human virtues. Members discuss and exchange views on moral, philosophical, and social issues in their meetings, and they try to achieve self-improvement. They use architectural symbols like the square and compass, which represent morality and integrity, and the letter G, which can symbolize God, geometry, or knowledge. But like the Illuminati, Freemasonry has always been viewed with suspicion. The reason is the secrecy of their meetings and members. People are always afraid of hidden things, and this leads to many conspiracy theories about it. Are the Illuminati and Freemasonry connected? Some theories say yes. Adam Weishaupt, the founder of the Illuminati, was himself a Freemason, but most historians say that the Illuminati was a separate group that modeled itself after the structure of Freemasonry, not a branch of it. It's like two different clubs in the same city, but each has its own rules and goals. Now that we've talked about the history of these two groups, let's move on to something more interesting: the symbols. These symbols are exactly what fuel conspiracy theories, making everyone think of the Illuminati whenever they see a triangle or an eye. The all-seeing eye and the pyramid are the most famous Illuminati symbols that everyone remembers, the same unfinished pyramid with the eye above it. You can also see this symbol on the US dollar bill. This eye represents the eye of God, or a higher power that watches over everything. The pyramid symbolizes a hierarchical structure and the pursuit of perfection. So why is it on the US dollar? Conspiracy theorists say this shows that the Illuminati controls America, while historically these symbols were chosen by the founders of America without any direct connection to the Illuminati. The symbol of the owl, or the owl of Minerva. The owl is a symbol of wisdom and knowledge, and it is said to have also been a symbol of the Illuminati. Some believe that the owl means the Illuminati operates at night and in secrecy and is aware of everything. The square and compasses. This is the most famous symbol of Freemasonry. The square symbolizes morality and integrity, square deal, and the compasses represent self-control and the restraint of desires. The letter G, which is placed between the square and compasses, can stand for God, geometry, or gnosis. knowledge. Freemasons use this symbol to remind themselves of their moral principles, building stones and columns. Since Freemasonry originated from stonemason architects, symbols like the original building stones, columns, and construction tools are very important to them. These are symbols of building and developing one's character. So why are these symbols so controversial? Because conspiracy theorists believe that these symbols are hidden everywhere, in movies, music videos, government buildings, and even the logos of major companies. And this supposedly means a secret message for Illuminati and Freemason members telling us, we are here and we are doing our work. For example, if a singer makes a triangle with their hand in a music video, or you see an eye in a scene, they immediately say, aha, this is an Illuminati member. Whereas many of these symbols might simply be used for aesthetics or by coincidence. But for those who believe in conspiracies, nothing is accidental. The most famous conspiracy theory about the Illuminati and Freemasonry is this one, the New World Order. This theory claims that the Illuminati or Freemasons are carrying out a grand plan to create a single world government that they themselves control. In other words, they want to bring all governments, economies, and societies under their control and create a unipolar dictatorial world. Every major event that happens in the world, from wars and economic crises to the outbreak of diseases, is all they're doing to achieve their goal. Another popular theory is that the Illuminati and Freemasons control the media, the music industry, and Hollywood. They believe that famous artists, singers, and actors are all members of these groups, and that through their works they are sending hidden messages and Illuminati symbols to the public to brainwash them and prepare them for the New World Order. That's why whenever you see an eye or a pyramid in music videos, they immediately say it's Illuminati. Some people go even further and claim that the Illuminati and Freemasonry were behind major historical revolutions like the French and American revolutions, and even the assassinations of famous figures like John F. Kennedy. They believe that these events happened to achieve the goals of these groups and to change the course of history. So why do people believe in these theories so much? When big and unexpected events happen in the world, people need an explanation. If there isn't a convincing official explanation, conspiracy theories come in and somehow fill that gap. Believing that a secret group is controlling the world might give some people a sense of control. It means they think at least they know what's going on, even if that news is scary. In general, secret and mysterious things are attractive to humans. Stories about the Illuminati and Freemasonry have exactly this quality. Of course, we should say that none of these conspiracy theories have any definitive or solid evidence. Most of them are based on speculation, scattered evidence, and personal interpretations. But, well, it's exactly this unknown and mysterious nature that keeps their stories always hot topics. Now that your mind has been warmed up with all these conspiracy theories, let's take a slightly more realistic look. Do the Illuminati and Freemasonry still exist and hold power the way the theories claim? As we mentioned before, the original Illuminati was officially dissolved in 1785. Most historians and researchers believe that this group never became as powerful and global as the theories claim. It was their revolutionary and libertarian ideas that sparked fear and suspicion in governments, leading to their suppression. Now, do groups called the Illuminati exist today? Yes, there may be small groups with this name that were formed just to attract attention or to use the famous name, but they have no connection to the 18th century Illuminati and do not possess global power. They are more like underground clubs than world controllers. But unlike the Illuminati, Freemasonry still exists and is a legal organization. Masonic lodges are active all over the world and have millions of members. They have their own lodges, hold weekly or monthly meetings, and also engage in charitable activities. But is modern Freemasonry really the secret and evil organization that the theories claim? Most researchers and even the Freemasons themselves deny this. They say that Freemasonry is a moral and fraternal organization whose goal is to help members of society. The confidentiality of their meetings is also to protect the privacy of members and to provide a space for open discussions without public judgment. So why are there still theories about them? The reason is that anything secret is more intriguing. When a group doesn't make everything public, the human mind starts to create stories and theories. These theories are also highly appealing and always have a thriving market of their own. Some prominent figures throughout history, including several US presidents like George Washington, were Freemasons. This fact has fueled conspiracy theories about the Freemasons' influence on power. But does this mean they control the world? Most historians say that these individuals were members of Freemasonry as individuals, not that Freemasonry as an organization controls governments. In other words, if someone is a member of a political party, it doesn't mean that party controls the entire government. In the end, it can be said that the Illuminati was a short-lived historical group that was dissolved. Freemasonry is also a fraternal organization that still exists, but it is not the secretive, world-controlling entity portrayed in conspiracy theories. Most of the stories about these groups controlling the world are products of human imagination and stem from a fear of the unknown. So now the question that arises is, are there any credible sources or evidence for all these conspiracy theories? And how can we distinguish reliable information from rumors? The first place we should look for evidence is in books and historical documents. Reliable information about the Illuminati can be found in history books from the 18th century and the German Enlightenment era. These documents show that these groups really did exist, but they had a short lifespan and were eventually suppressed. Sources like Proofs of a Conspiracy by John Robison, published in 1797, were among the first books to seriously address this topic, but even this book was mostly based on speculation and incomplete information. There are also many historical documents about Freemasonry, including constitutions, meeting protocols, and the histories of various lodges. Many of these documents are public and anyone can access them. Freemasons themselves have also published many books and articles about their own history and philosophy. The best way to get to the truth is to refer to reputable academic and research sources, that is, books and articles written by historians, sociologists, and impartial researchers, based on evidence and scientific analysis. These sources usually refute conspiracy theories with logical and historical reasoning. Unfortunately, most of the information about the Illuminati and Freemasonry, especially conspiracy theories, is spread through the internet and unreliable media. Anyone can create a blog or a YouTube channel and publish whatever story they like. So far, there has been no official document or credible revelation showing that the Illuminati or Freemasonry is currently secretly controlling the world. If such a document existed, the world would definitely be turned upside down. Now, an interesting final question for you, dear friends. What other conspiracy theories do you know that you find interesting or even believable? Be sure to write them for us in the comments because we're eager to know your opinions and interact with you. So, until the next episode, goodbye.